Welcome to the Taxpayer Guide on the existing taxpayer migration under GST. This is the story of Rakesh, who is a central excise taxpayer.
Let's see the headlines today. How to enroll? I've been using the ACES portal for all tax-related transactions so far with great ease. Hope that the new system is also going to be simple. Let me ask Akash if he has any information related to the procedure. Hi Akash, did you read the news about GST in the newspaper? It seems that we need to enroll under GST now.
Oh yes, I had received information about same in the trade association meeting last month.
Do I need to register again under GST? Guess I will have to talk to my CA today.
Don't worry, you don't have to apply afresh. CBEC has initiated the migration process for all service tax and central excise registrants. You can do it yourself by simply following the migration procedure.
Oh, okay.
I have already initiated the same. The guidelines for the same are available on the www.aces.gov.in and www.gst.gov.in portals. Follow the same. In case of doubt, go to the CBEC office. They are organizing orientation session for taxpayers.
I will visit the ACES portal today. If possible, we'll try to attend the orientation session as well.
It is important to note the following. All the existing taxpayers registered under the Central Excise, Service Tax or State VAT need to be migrated under GST. Data of all such taxpayers will be migrated to GST before the date of GST implementation. Existing taxpayers without a valid PAN will not be migrated to GST. Taxpayers without a PAN-based registration, example, starting with TEMP or TMP or with the TAN number, need to get their Central Excise or Service Tax certificate amended for enrollment in GST. Based on the Service Tax or Central Excise taxpayer details shared by CBEC, GSTN creates their provisional IDs. Taxpayer can get these provisional IDs on the homepage of the ACES portal and use the same to log in to the GST portal. On the GST portal, they have to fill in and submit the registration Form 20 along with the relevant document. Provisional certificate will be provided to the taxpayer against the application to do transaction under GST for the time being. The application will then be sent to the tax authorities for verification. Once approved by them, the provisional ID will get converted into the final GSTIN after the date GST becomes effective.
Good day, I am a CBEC officer. Are you here for the orientation session?
Yes.
Okay, please follow me to the conference room. Here is a roadmap defined for the migration of all the taxpayers in GST. Let us see each step in detail. The first thing you have to do is get your provisional ID and password from the ACES portal. Log in to www.aces.gov.in using your existing ACES login credentials to get your provisional IDs and password. Click on the hyperlink available on your homepage to get your provisional ID. You can alternatively select the provisional ID option under the REG tab to get your ID. If you do not receive your provisional ID, refer to the next step section on the same page. It will explain what you need to do in the given situation. In case of further doubt, please contact the CBEC help desk on the contact number mentioned here. In case of exclusive Central Excise SSC, where one registration on one PAN is required, one provisional ID is generated. In case the state in head office and business premise is different, 2 IDs may be issued. In case of exclusive central excise assessee, where multiple registration on one PAN is required, one provisional ID is generated if the state in all registrations is same or multiple IDs corresponding to the number of unique states. In case of exclusive service tax assessee, where one registration on one PAN is required, one provisional ID is generated. In case of exclusive service tax assessee, where multiple registration on one PAN is required, one provisional ID is generated if the state in all registrations is same or multiple IDs corresponding to the number of unique states. In case of exclusive service tax assessee with centralized registration, multiple IDs corresponding to the number of unique states for the units registered are generated. In case of both central excise and service tax assessee with same PAN for central excise and service tax, only one ID for central excise is generated as per above scenarios for central excise if the state is same in both central excise and service tax. Otherwise, IDs for both central excise and service tax are generated. Note: new IDs will be issued for central excise or service tax assessees only if they are not registered under state VAT on the same PAN and state as their central excise or service tax registrations. Else, IDs issued by state VAT departments will be shown on ACES.
I have not received my provisional ID. What should I do?
Did you refer to the next steps section?
Yes, it says that you have already registered as a VAT registrant. Actually, I had received a provisional ID against my VAT registration from Delhi.
In this case, you will not get a separate provisional ID for central excise registration. Just add the address of your central excise registrant in the additional place of business field in Form 20. You may get more than one provisional ID in case you have registered business in any other state as well. You will get one provisional ID for each state.
I have 2 service tax registrations with the same PAN in a state. How many provisional IDs will I get?
One provisional ID for your first registration based on the numerical order. Add the details of the second registration in Form 20 as an additional place of business.
I am registered as an input service distributor under existing tax structure. I haven't received my provisional ID so far. What to do?
You will not get it as ISDs will not be migrated. You need to take fresh registration post the GST appointed date.
My PAN is not linked with the central excise registration so far. Do I need to take fresh registration as well?
Registered assessees can convert their non-PAN based registrations to PAN based ones by simply filing an amendment application for their Central Excise Registration Certificate ST2 in the REG module by logging into www.aces.gov.in. Use your provisional ID and password to create user ID and password for the GST portal. Once you have your provisional ID, go to www.gst.gov.in and click the New User Login tab to perform the following actions. Provisional ID verification. Enter your provisional ID, username and password. OTP verification. Enter your latest email ID and mobile number for OTP verification. New user credentials. By using the OTP received on your registered email ID and mobile number, set a preferred username and password for accessing the GST portal. Fill in all the necessary details in Form 20 and submit in the GST portal. Add your e-sign digital signature certificate and submit. Note: DSC is mandatory to digitally sign Form 20 and submit. If If you don't have DSC, save the form till then and submit it later once the DSC has been obtained. For queries in filing Form 20, contact 0124 4688 999 or helpdesk@gst.gov.in. Check the application reference number and request status in the GST portal. Once Form 20 is submitted, an application reference number will be generated and your status will change from provisional to migrated on the GST portal. Use the ARN number to check the status of your registration application in the GST portal. Your application will be processed and approved by tax authorities, CBEC and state tax. If any query is raised during verification, respond to the same in the GST portal. Post successful verification, your request for registration will be processed. As the last step, use the provisional certificate for all GST-related transactions. Once your request for registration is approved, you have completed all the formalities related to GST migration. On the GST appointed date, that is the date of when GST is implemented in India, your status in GST portal will change from migrated to active. A provisional registration certificate will be issued to you. Use the provisional certificate for all transactions related to returns, payments, refunds, etc. up to 6 months or till you get your final GSTIN, whichever is earlier. Now, fill in your Form 20 and submit in the GST portal for successful migration. Once registered, check your email and SMS regularly. Quickly respond to any query raised during verification.
Rakesh completes the process of migration and received his provisional certificate. You can also follow this process to migrate to the GST portal without any hassle.